Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video we will be talking about, well, this is going to be a beginners only guide for training and nutrition. So what you need to do, everything that you need to do, which is very basic, to get the results that you deserve when it comes to your nutrition and when it comes to your training. And we're also going to talk a little bit about recovery. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to talk about different topics, and the first thing that I would want you to understand is calories in versus calories out. To lose body fat, let's say that these are your calories, okay? This is your maintenance calories. If you want to lose body fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. If you want to build muscle, you want to be in a calorie surplus. Calories in versus calories out is the fundamental to your body composition and to fat loss or fat gain. If we eat more, we're going to store more body fat. If we eat less, we can lose body fat. Now, how do you know how many calories you consume every single day? You can track your calories and your macros for a day, 2 days, 5 days, or even a couple of weeks, or even a couple of months, and get a better understanding of how many calories you actually consume per day. Are you at your maintenance? Are you in a surplus? Or are you in a calorie deficit? Calories in versus calories out. First thing that I want you to understand. One thing that I love telling my clients, and one thing that I love teaching my clients, is flexible dieting. So flexible dieting is the ability to eat anything and everything that you want and to stay within your calorie and your macro intake, your calorie and your macro range, and still be able to lose body fat. For example, if you're eating 1,800 calories and this is your deficit, you can eat whatever you want, and if you are in a deficit, you're going to lose body fat. So if you want to have a Snickers bar every day, you can have a Snickers bar every day and still be able to lose body fat. So we do not want to restrict ourselves or create a negative relationship with food just because we are dieting and just because we are focusing on fat loss. Flexible dieting, you can eat anything that you want and you will still be able to lose body fat or to build muscle, but stick to mostly whole foods. We want to eat whole foods. We don't want to feed ourselves with a lot of processed and junk food. When we eat crap, we feel like crap, and then we cannot go to the toilet and let that crap out. You will not be able to have a normal digestion and to have a regular bowel movement if you're constantly feeding yourself with processed foods. So whole food, but also allow yourself flexibility and allow yourself to eat the foods that you enjoy, whether that might be ice cream or pizza or anything like that. There are no good or bad foods. Food is food. Food contains energy and calories, and we need that energy to survive and to lift weights and to make progress on our fitness journey. Flexible calories in versus calories out. Flexible dieting, eat whole foods and make sure that you have a regular bowel movement and that your digestion is working properly. When it comes to your macros, how to spread your macros throughout the day. So I'll use myself as an example. I train around 9-10 a.m. every single day. So what I do, I have most of my carbs around my training. So I would have my carbs before I train, I would have my carbs after I train. So my pre-workout meal is always carb heavy meal. Oats, pancakes, bananas, honey, rice cakes, bagels, bread, anything that is carb, anything that is a good source of carb is what I will consume. Cream of rice before I go to the gym and train. Mostly that is either an oatmeal, and I usually have my first meal around 60 to 75 minutes before I go to the gym and train, to then again allow my digestion to digest that food before I go and put a very heavy barbell on my back and squat 80, 90, 120 kilos very soon. And then after I go to the gym and train and I get back home, I have my post-workout meal after I've trained, probably around 45 minutes after I've trained, another carb heavy meal. And how I like to structure my nutrition, and this is what works best for me, it may not work best for you. Pre-workout meal around 8 a.m, training around 9:30, post-workout meal around 12, then another meal around 3 p.m, and then another meal around 7 p.m. So I do not eat too close to my bedtime. I do not eat too much food before I go to bed and before I go to sleep. And I have most of my carbs around my training to help with my training performance. Whether I am in a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit, my nutrition habits stay the same. Sometimes I eat more food or more calorie dense foods if I'm in a surplus and trying to focus on building muscle. But if I'm in a deficit, I'm going to eat slightly more volume food and again carbs around my training, but I will be in a calorie deficit by the end of the day and by the end of the week, and I'm going to lose body fat over overall. So how to track your calories and your macros. A great tool that you can use is a kitchen scale, and this is very simple and very straightforward. What I do and what I used to do when I used to track every single thing that I would have every single day when I was getting ready for my competition, I was using food scales. So let's say that we are going to put a plate on the scales and it says 464 grams, but we are going to put this back to 0. And then let's say that I want to measure 50 grams of oats. Let's say that I'm having 50 grams of oats. So I'm going to pour 51. I'm a perfectionist. 49. Let's say that we have 50 grams of oats here. So say that we have 50 grams of oats here, and then we are also going to add, just imagining this. So say that we have 50 grams of oats here, and say that we use 1 scoop of this vanilla vegan protein powder, and say that we use 200 milliliters of this milk, and let's say that we use another maybe 100 grams of banana and 20 grams of honey, and that will be my pre-workout meal that I'm going to have around 60 minutes before I train. How are we going to track this is a great question. We're going to weigh everything raw, and we are going to log everything in my app. I'm going to show you a screenshot of a meal, and you will be able to see the screen recording of me pre-logging all this food into my own app, and then you get to see how many grams of protein, carbs and fats you've had and how many calories you have had before you have trained. So that will be your first meal. If you want to measure anything else, if you want to measure another meal, let's say that we're having chicken breast and sweet potato and whatever it is that you want to have, just put everything on the scale, weigh everything raw and weigh everything in grams or milliliters depending on what you use. Do you need to track your calories and macros all the time and until the rest of your life? Absolutely not. What you can do, you can track your calories and macros for a while, get a better understanding of how many calories and macros you are consuming, and then from there you can switch to intuitive eating. This is what I've been doing lately. I have not tracked my calories or my macros in a very long time. And another thing that I wanted to talk to you about was training for fat loss or training to build muscle. Your training always stays the same. The type of training that has helped you to build muscle is the same kind of training that is going to help you to lose body fat when you are in a calorie deficit. Regardless of if I'm trying to build muscle or lose body fat, my training never ever changes. I have been doing the same training for the last 5, nearly 6 years. So training always stays the same. What changes is your total daily calorie intake. We're either in deficit, maintenance, or a calorie surplus. How to train to get the results that you deserve? You need to do a few things. You need to follow a very good training program. You need to focus on having the right technique. Technique is everything. Form overload every single time. And then when you're confident in your technique, you can then focus on progressive overload and add more load to the bar every single week. Instead of you trying to figure everything on your own, I have created so many different programs, and everything that I have learned from my coaches, Australian strength coach, Coach Mark Carroll, and all the other courses and all the life experience and training experience that I have is in the app. So instead of you trying to figure everything out on your own, follow the programs from my app. We have 6 different programs, more programs coming soon. If you need more info or anything about the programs, go on my website. The website link will be down in the description below. Follow a training program. Do everything as I say. It is so simple. I cannot stress this enough. Training is so simple. Quality training and smart training is very simple, as well as nutrition. You just need to have the right guidance. Myself. Long-term mindset. You will not get results overnight. It might take you 6 months. It might take you 2 years. It might take you 5 years. You should not give up after 2 weeks of not seeing the results that you want. Long-term mindset. You want to be lifting weights and living a healthy lifestyle until the rest of your life. There are no quick fixes, no 6-week challenges or 8-week challenges or anything like that. Stick to this long-term. This is a long game. I will be lifting weights until I'm able to do so. I would love to lift weights even when I'm 80 years old if I'm blessed and lucky enough to live a very long and a healthy lifestyle. So long-term mindset, and just focus on being better, 1% better every day. That is all that you need to be focusing on. Last but not least, enjoy the journey. You're going to have a lot of bad days. You're going to have a lot of bad weeks, maybe even bad months, but stick to it and keep going. I have had a lot of bad days, but I'm still training. I have had a lot of bad weeks, but I'm still looking after myself the best way that I can through my nutrition, through my training, through my recovery, and through my sleep. Calories in versus calories out. Flexible dieting. Eat whatever you want, and you are still going to be able to build muscle and to lose body fat or to maintain your weight. Don't restrict yourself from any foods. Eat the food that you enjoy. Follow a very smart training program. Do not change your training when you start a dieting phase, training always stays the same. Every single thing, literally every single thing that you need to know about training and nutrition is in my app. You can sign up for the 7-day free trial. The link will be in the description down below. Check out the app, read all of the guides. You're going to get a free nutritional guide, a reverse dieting guide, a pre and postnatal guide, gut health guide, access to the app, access to our amazing community, so much education, yoga classes, mobility classes, literally every single thing that you need to know about training and nutrition is in my app. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that you have learned something new. I hope that this video helps you. Don't forget to follow me on all social media platforms. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go and follow me on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, all the platforms that there are online. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching this video. And until next time, I will see you next time.